My check 1 2 1 2. Pardon the new setup. I figured that I might as well make the most of my time waiting at the library because clearly, time has shifted and I need to adapt. So with that being said, today I'd like to talk about my article on Istolo about the Johannesburg Arc. Pardon. I meant my article on my blog about my experience in Istolo concerning the Johannesburg Arc. So what is the Johannesburg Arc? The Johannesburg Arc is basically when I spent time in Johannesburg for 6 months at the beginning of 2021 until 30 June same year, 2021. And I went into Johannesburg to deal with this e-commerce business. I thought it would be best that I'm all in, especially because Johannesburg has the juice, the sauce, and the squeeze bottle. So, with that being said, that was my game. I went into Johannesburg expecting to do the most. Honestly, I had this whole perception of being this fashion guy, continue doing my thrifting. That'll definitely be way more efficient, create content, get back onto that fashion stuff for social media marketing, design, just live this grand life of fashion. But something got in the way of that. A couple of things, actually. One thing that got in the way of that was like, I needed to make rent. In terms of stability, my stability is 0 to none. So with that being said, I had to sort that out first off by making money. So everything just zoomed into the thing that will make money right now efficiently, which is e-commerce, Thrifting, the turnover for thrifting took a while when we worked on it. And having resources on hand, I notice is not really my style. I don't like buying stock and keeping it for a long time. Especially when it comes to the delivery process of thrifting, I already knew that, okay, shop, what's going to happen is that I'm going to have to meet up with people. So I'm going to have to go back to Midrand, keep it in Daniel's store. And that's inefficient because I'm also just trying to avoid the amount of time spent at Daniel because, I really need to work. And I tend to not focus as much because vibes are amazing at Daniel, if you get what I'm saying. So, thrifting out of the picture. Content creation, designing, fashion, that type of social media work on Instagram that I used to do a while back with the Icon X Styles arc, Icon Sana arc, basically blogging about fashion and exploring my perception of fashion design. My perspective, rather. That couldn't happen. Time consuming, money, 0. Influence, yes, I could build some. Because, I like communities. I know how to, I know how to maneuver in communities. But as of late, my focus has been cash orientated. I hadn't developed enough skill in order to monetize the attention that I get. Yes, I could sell a couple items, but it's nothing in comparison to the e-commerce work where I know that, cool, this is the strategy, this is how we're making it pop, done. I believe Istolo on Facebook, where I just focused on e-commerce, has made way more money than my perception, the perception of who I am as a brand on Instagram. Even though the followers are a lot more here and the connections are probably a lot tighter, but the money is a lot more. So having a brand, that was out of the window. So first off, thrifting, nope. Personal brand, nope. E-commerce, yes. So we doubled down on it. For Durags A1, marketing the brushes was pretty easy, especially on Instagram, because Instagram is pretty trendy. So we had an understanding of the people that we'd get. Yeah, I'll classify these people as people who are fashion forward. So Durag's A1 did great when it came to selling brushes on Instagram in comparison to Facebook. Facebook was a bit behind. It's like people who are not hip to the movement. These are people that see things on social media but don't really live the lifestyle, would like to, but you kind of have to have a connection with the culture in order to be really in it. It's a different social dynamic that I'm kind of struggling to articulate, but I feel like for those that understand, yeah, culture has a lot to do with fashion. And I understood that, okay, cool, with the wave brushes, these are the type of people, this is the demographic, this is how we're doing it, boom, bow. So with that being said, the culture aspect is strong on Instagram for brushes. As for waist trainers, when doing it with the Stolo, you'd notice that waist trainers, not really culturally, but I guess more so in a lifestyle manner, health lifestyle manner, not a cultural lifestyle manner, if that makes sense, is stronger on Facebook. Especially because people on Facebook targeted, let's just say, the whole of South Africa, and it went great with the whole of South Africa, not just Cape Town, Johannesburg, and friends on Istolo when it came to on Durag's A1 when it came to the brushes. I'm struggling to articulate myself, but this was the hugest realization, right? On the whole Johannesburg Arc is e-commerce and the demographics that you target, you need to have an understanding of them, which is phenomenal. I gain a stance on e-commerce to the point of having confidence in the products that I'm selling because I have an idea, Once I hit a certain strategy, which is basically invest 100 Rand for 3 days, 30 Rand per day, and, just make a broad selection of people. Don't be specific about who hollers, So age, let's just say 18, 19 to 60, male, female included, across South Africa, you'll get a general idea of who it is that's going to buy your product by the people that actually contact you. And then you start cutting it down, You start cutting it down until you just focus on this specific demographic that contacts you, which is great. So that has given me the confidence of being like, yeah, I know which product to market to specific demographics. Or let me just say, whatever product I'm handed, I will find a demographic to market. If it doesn't work, then I'm out. But, it's that little valuable thing that I gained from the Johannesburg Arc that makes e-commerce probably the most viable way of dealing with my time. I guess the branding and social media marketing will come later on, but the next step is to move from e-commerce into tech so that I can deal with these little tedious tasks when it comes to not social media marketing, pardon. Yeah, when it comes to getting customers. Because this little tedious task of replying to 100+ messages, depending on the budget that I set on Facebook ads, is problematic. It's problematic. I can't. And if this is the truth of the matter when it comes to Facebook ads in SA, rather not. I suspect that I've found a niche that needs this. That needs this customer service. But with that being said, I'm going to build tech for that, Definitely. That's my aim of the game now. And then get back to it and scale. Because Pila and I tried scaling during the Johannesburg Arc. Pila is my partner in Istolo. And the numbers aren't the same. So I noticed that, actually, we probably need to build trust. We need to be on the ball consistently. And unfortunately, we're not willing to go through that when we know that, hey, technology can actually kind of sort it out. Rather invest time sharpening the axe and then cut the tree down instead of cutting the tree down with a blunt axe. So with that being said, that's the Johannesburg Arc. Got deep into e-commerce, learned that, hey, we might have something going on with this demographic that we get, which is everybody else, per se, in the rural area, specifically women. And I feel like that could signify a wider range of people that would rather deal with e-commerce through chat instead of e-commerce through websites. And I'm willing to bet my money on this channel, and just by the end of the year have the right skills in order to do it. Then I can continue on to Google advertising, and every other channel that works. Thank you very much for listening, and that's my chat for the day. The Johannesburg Arc was amazing. KZN Arc was sharpening. Cape Town Arc, we'll see what that's about, but definitely Tech 101, tech, e-commerce, and we'll see what's up.